All right, we're back. Let's see, where are we at right now? It's almost the new year. It's almost 2020, which is really exciting. And also I feel like I have to get all these things ready before the new year. I really like to prepare supplies that will just give me a really good container to work in and to practice in and brainstorm in and journal in, all that. So I thought I'd talk about some of the supplies that I've kind of been really enjoying. I find that for me to do the sketchnoting and the graphic recording, it really comes down to choosing the right supplies that make me excited to practice and that I love having with me. So something to note about when you're choosing materials for yourself is choose the things that just really bring you joy, the things that you love, whether it's the way that they feel or the color or the texture, whatever it is. Just choose the things that you want to use on a daily basis, because that's what makes it fun, right? And so that's how I choose my supplies, and they're always evolving because of that. So at different points I'll find something new and I'll integrate that. Definitely interested in hearing what you all are using. I am looking for new tips always. Okay, I thought I'd start with the journal. There are two journals that I really enjoy using right now, and they're both sold by Neuland, so you can go check them out there. The first one has these 4 different kinds of paper. This says marker love on the front in German. It's got some fun markers on the back. And the 4 different kinds of paper are, there's this really nice craft paper in here, and then there's this plain regular white paper, and then, one of my favorites is this beautiful black paper in here, and then this really fun gray paper in the back. So I like to use this in a couple of different ways. Either I'll organize this journal into 4 different sections and I'll use them that way, where I'll put different content in each section, like maybe work related things, maybe my drawing practice, and then my personal journal where I can kind of just spill my heart out. Or I'll just start at the beginning and then I'll go through it and I'll just arrive at each new section, and it makes it kind of exciting. So that's one that I really enjoy. The one that I'm currently using, and I really love this one, is a bullet journal, also sold by Neuland, and it's got this really fun texture on the cover that continues all the way around. So I really like the pattern that's on here. And it's just a regular bullet journal, which essentially means that it's just got little dots on the page, and it's just completely open. And so I just decided to give it a shot to write down everything in here just as it's happening, not try to divide it out or anything like that, but just start at the beginning. And I've been really enjoying journaling like this. I'll do little weeks in review where I'll put photos in here, and I just track everything in here, whether it's finances to my daily to-do list. I use Mel Robbins' 5-second journal template that she's got online for free. So I just print this out and I just stick it in here. And I really like that for kind of planning my day, tracking my to-do list. Anyways, love this journal. Okay, so those are the journals that I really love right now. Let's talk about pens, because this is one of my just sweet spots. I love shopping for pens and gathering the right kinds of pens that I like to use and that I feel my handwriting looks best in, because that's a really big factor. If you have the wrong pen and you're thinking, why doesn't my handwriting look great? It might be because you need to switch your pen. Some pens I don't enjoy writing with. My handwriting isn't as neat with them. So these are the pens that I have right now with me. I carry these around all the time. So the first ones are my Tombow markers. I love these markers. I usually carry about 3 of them. Usually a black and then 2 other colors. So I really like having these because they have a dual tip. So they have this really nice brush nib on one side and then a really nice ballpoint nib on the other. So you get this really nice line variation. They come in beautiful colors and really great for doing any kind of bounce lettering or any kind of brush script. These are the ones that I like to use and always have them handy. I also carry a Sharpie pen with me. This is just regular Sharpie pen, and I like this because it's permanent, so I can draw over it with other markers and it won't bleed. So for doing any kind of shading, I really like Sharpie pens. And these pens by Neuland are called the Sketch One, and there are 4 different pens in this pack with different line varieties. So for doing any kind of sketchnoting, these are really nice to have if you want a thicker or thinner line. It has 4 different varieties ranging from 0.1 to 0.7. And they come in this really cute little pouch. So I really like these for doing any kind of sketch notes. They are not permanent. That's the only thing about them that I wish was different. I wish these were permanent so I could draw over them with a different marker. All right, one of my favorite pens that I have is this white jelly roll. Jelly rolls take me back. I love them. And I use this for the black paper in that one journal, or sometimes when I draw with a black marker first, I'll add some detailing with the white. So this is like my ninja pen. It's really fun to do neat little tricks. And this is just a regular white jelly roll. Works really well, nice opaque white. Okay, I gotta have a pencil in my kit. So I actually have 2 pencils in my kit. I have a mechanical pencil and then just a regular pencil. And then the last 2 supplies that I have in my kit, I have this really cute little baby ruler. I like having this little ruler for doing any kind of lettering or drawing projects. Also just comes in handy sometimes when you need to measure something. So I have a little ruler with me. And then I have some double-sided tape from Office Max or somewhere like that. I like to carry this around for putting any photos in my journal. So I carry around some double-sided tape. Plus, it's just awesome. This stuff is great. Thanks to whoever invented it. Okay, so those are some of my pens that I have for my journal practice. I'm also going to show you some of the pens that I bring whenever I'm doing the work I do on a larger scale on bigger walls. And sometimes I use these in my journals as well. But these are some of the markers I use. And if I had to grab only 5 markers, to do graphic recording with, these are the 5 that I would grab. So I really thought about this and the color palette and all that, and I just kept it really simple, but I love how these colors look together. Okay, so if you haven't seen these before, these are amazing. This is called the Big One. It's a marker that has a really big wedge nib. And by the way, that's how you open these. Instead of pulling these, you're just gonna push the top of the marker with your thumb until it clicks off, and then it comes right off. So, yep, you just push with your thumb and then the cap pops off. So this is called the Big One for a reason. Look at that nib. This is such a beautiful marker for doing any kind of titles, or if you want to shade an area with a big color block. These are so wonderful to work with. So I always carry this really nice blue number 301. And I also love this brilliant yellow number 500. So I carry both of these colors, and I found that these are fantastic for doing any kind of titles. Okay, this is one of the markers that I love with my full heart. It's the outliner. So this is just a permanent marker. And so what that means is that you can draw over it with the other colors and it won't bleed. So you can do some really fun shading effects. I love this thing. I think the marker that I have the most of is probably the outliner because I use it the most. And this is actually the Twin One outliner. So this is a rather new product by Neuland where it actually has a dual nib. So kind of like those Tombow markers, but this one has a brush nib. So really nice for any kind of script lettering, and then it's also got a wedge nib, so giving you that line variety for any kind of writing that you're doing. So I really love that I have the 2 nibs in one marker because I use both of these. So I used to have to carry 2 markers and now I just have to carry 1. I also have another twin one. This is probably the color I get asked about the most often. This is this really beautiful pastel blue that's just so lovely. It's number 303 by Neuland, and I love this color. I think if I could look at one color forever, it'd be that. Okay, and lastly, I have one more marker that's just a regular wedge nib marker, and it's number 302. So this is another really nice blue. It's a little bit darker than the blue that I have in the big one. They're similar, but they're just different enough where they really support each other on the page. So these are the markers that I carry with me, and they rock it together on the page. I love all of them. And nice thing about Neuland markers is you can refill them and you can change out the nibs when they get squishy, so you never actually have to throw this marker away. One of the reasons why I really love these markers. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. It pretty much comes down to just having some kind of paper surface or tablet, whatever kind of medium you want to use to capture information onto, and then some markers or a stylus that you want to use. So something that I did this year was I actually partnered up with Neuland and created a kit of some of the supplies that I showed you today that are called my grab and go set. So these are some of the things that I use the most often. So if you like those materials, I'll link the kit in this video so that you can go check those out. I don't get a cut of any of those sales, so if you're wondering, nope, it's just people ask me a lot about the supplies that I like to use, so I just put together that kit with Neuland, and also want to support them because they're awesome and their supplies are wonderful. So go check out their website and grab some supplies for yourself. Treat yourself. I feel like the holidays where you're scrambling around and getting gifts for everyone else, once that's over, it's nice to kind of go out and get yourself a little something. So if that's a journal and some pens, I'd fully support it. And I'm really curious to hear what kind of materials you use, because I love to learn about new pens and new journals, and would love to hear what kind of materials you're using. So please drop those in the comments. Call them out, let us all know. And if you've stayed this far, thanks for watching. It really means a lot. It's been really fun to make these videos. Learned a lot. I mean, it's a new way of interacting with you guys on here, and it's really nice. I love getting to hear from you, and thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Okay, see you next time.